more than one boyfriend, because you have to have more than one boyfriend, because these men are not even claiming y'all. And y'all out here saying, my man, my man, my man, my man. Always have more than one boyfriend. These men be using y'all for multiple reasons. Why y'all think, some of these men, they end up ghosting you, or they come out of nowhere contacting you, or they come out of nowhere wanting to see you at 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. Because they're dealing with other women. You could be spoiling him. You could be giving this man money so he wants you to, stick around. And then there's another girl he's dealing with feeding his ego. And then another girl he's dealing with that's, giving him great sex. You need to do the same thing. Have one boyfriend that gives you a lot of money. Have another boyfriend that's your travel buddy. Have another boyfriend, that can feed you emotionally. Do the same thing.
I'm giving all praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah by Shem HaRachakwadash. Send double honors to our apostles and elders, every great millstone. Peace and blessings to the Lord's hopefully elect. Yeah, so this video is put up by AC. And as you heard what that woman said, right? She's saying or counseling other women that they need to have multiple men because men have multiple women. And this is why the scriptures teach you that in the kingdom of heaven, the natural order of things is coming back in a big way, because pride is on an all-time high, and pride is also in the heart of women in general overall. Now, if a woman was to be honest with you, if she was to actually be honest with you, right, and explain why she's so mad or why she's so frustrated or why she does the things she do, if they're being honest, they'll tell you that deep down, they're upset that the Most High made them a woman and that they can't do what a man does. They're mad. If they're being honest with you, I'm talking about the ones that are rebellious, the ones that have a problem with submitting to the order of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, the ones that you could say are unmarriageable because of their attitude, their haughtiness. If they're being honest, it's because deep down, they're mad that the Most High had made them a woman and that they aren't able to do the same thing that a man is able to do. And what they're really upset is that it's in their process of trying to do and mimic exactly what the man does, they end up destroying themselves. They hurt themselves, or they can end up a lot of times being sent back to the spirit world. And they're just angry because in their attempt to try to do what the man does, it doesn't prosper for them in the long run. It only hurts them. And that's what they're really upset at. So as you heard what she said, right? Her whole logic is she's saying, I want to do what a man does. And that's the same issue that brothers have when they come into the truth and they're trying to get wives, or they're trying to get women, and they're probably trying to teach their wives. The scriptures are trying to teach their wives the order, and they deal with a lot of rebellion because at the end of the day, they want to be able to do what you can do. And they'll say that it's not fair, but they don't understand the natural order of things according to the scriptures. And when they try to do what a man does, they only hurt themselves. You women only hurt yourself when you try to do exactly what a man does, because you are operating outside of your natural order. And that's deep down where that hatred comes from, is really because they try really hard to live the life of a man and to have multiple sex partners. But as history tells them, even in the scriptures, and since mankind will tell them, that a woman having multiple sex partners is frowned upon. Whereas if a man has multiple wives, then that man is generally looked at as someone of high status, or that's just completely normal. And they don't like that. So in this captivity that we're living in the latter days, we see the true hearts of the women, and we see their rebellion, right? The rebel of Jezebel on an all-time high. And what that is she's ultimately angry because, and we're saying Eve here, which just represents, you can say all women, but in particular the Israelite woman, starting with the so-called black woman down to the so-called Mexican woman. They're upset because they have everything that they could have in the society. They're doing everything that they will want to do in the society, everything that in their deepest heart that they've always wanted to do in the experience. They're able to do all those things, yet in the end, they can't prosper in it. In the end, they destroy themselves. And they're mad at that. But the Lord has allowed the society to go on to a level of pride, to let the pride get a certain height for a reason, to show everybody, both Israel and the planet and the other nations, is that his way is truly the best way and is always the way that ever worked. Especially for Israel, we have to learn that. We had to learn it the hard way. So let's deal with order. Let's deal with the natural order of things. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse, we'll start at 3. It says, "But I would have you know that the head of every man is the Lord, Yahushua, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of the Lord, Yahushua, is the Most High Yahweh. Every man praying or prophesying having his head covered dishonoreth his head. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head, for that is even all as if she were shaven." So you see the difference? You got the Most High, you got the Son of Man, you got man, and then you got woman. That's the natural order. If a man is praying or prophesying, he is to have his head uncovered because he dishonored his head, because it tells you he's the image of Yahweh, Yahushua. It says, but a woman, she has to have her head covered. And that's why women, when they go into a church setting, right, well, you know, there's going to be prayer and all that, they're supposed to have some type of head covering in actuality. Okay. And it shows humility and it shows modesty. But it's not the same for the man. And it's just like it's not the same for the woman when it comes to those things. It says, for if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her head be covered. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image of the glory of Yahweh, but the woman is the glory of the man. So you see, just like if a man tries to do what a woman does, it's considered a sin. Because if a man wears a dress in the eyes of the Lord, that's a sin. Right. And they end up destroying themselves as well. We're going to come back to that, just like Deuteronomy 22, verse 5 says, the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth to a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are an abomination to the Lord Yahweh thy God. Again, differences, distinctions. So, you know, you got celebrities who wear dresses like Martin Lawrence, Jamie Foxx, Eddie Griffin, you know all of them, right? Not Cat, definitely not Cat, but Kevin Williams. Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart. Doing all those things, right? And then when you ask them about it, you know what they try to do, Tyler Perry, they try to justify and say, oh, I'm just doing my thing. I'm just being a comedian. I'm a comedian. Well, last time I checked, when the Lord said, a man shall not wear that pertaining to a woman, he didn't say except the comedians. There's no exception there. That's the law. But you know, all the ones that do that, they end up destroying themselves because they know in a sense they lost a piece of their manhood that they can't take back. So the moment a man tries to do what a woman does, he's in violation. Just like if a woman tries to do what a man does, she's in violation. So if we go back, verse 8, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. So whenever a woman says, well, wait a minute, how come I can't have multiple sex partners, but you have multiple women? It's like, well, one was created for the other. Women were created for man, not man to woman. And even the law tells you that, and this is perfect world, right? But this is dealing with creation. We're dealing with creation here. A woman is supposed to be to one man her entire life, unless the man happened to die. That's it. That's like I said, perfect world, and that's dealing with nature. That's dealing with creation. As Romans chapter 7 says, know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth. For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband. So then, if while her husband liveth, she be married into another man, going to have another husband or another sex partner, while her man is still there, like she said, you need to have more than one boyfriend, basically more than one husband, right? More than one man on the roster, so to speak. It says she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man. You see, now that law applies for the woman. It doesn't apply for the man. And women don't like that. That's why today they use terms like partnership, which I know what they mean. I know what people mean when they say that, but really that's not even a good word to use, because partnerships signifies equality. Esau Edom started to use that word to try to say we're equal in a sense, but we're not. You're married. You have a husband. You have a spouse, and if you're the woman, that's supposed to be your husband. That's the only man you're supposed to deal with. But what does the woman say? I don't like that, because I want to be able to have multiple men because you were able to have multiple women. Well, that's because that's what nature says. Nature and the law says that. And they don't like that. But that's why it's coming back in a big way, because here it is in the society. They have everything that they could possibly ever want. And they're still destroying themselves, and they're still not happy. Why are they not happy? Because that's what you weren't created to do. This is the end of this world, the end of this society is going to be a token for all, and in the kingdom of heaven, the things to speak of what happens when you let sodomy run rampant, what happens when the wicked are in control and wickedness is spread, what happens when women are loosed, what happens when women are free to do whatever they want. This is going to be a testimony, and this is proof that with all this liberty you women have, you still miserable, you still destroy yourselves, and you're still unhappy, and you still don't prosper in the end. And you're upset because you know that you're operating outside of what your creation is, and you're enjoying it, but in the end it's not prosperous for you, and you're upset. Well, it's because that's not your creation role. You were not created to do that purpose. You have your own world, and you have your own role that you can explore and dive in, and that you're supposed to grow in. The world of femininity, the world of being a wife, the world of being a woman. So let's just deal with nature. Let's see what nature has to say. Well, we read what nature, in essence, it's Proverbs chapter 3. Now it's talking about wisdom, which Yahushua was the first spirit. So this could be applied to Yahushua as well. For Yahushua, shall I say. Proverbs chapter 3. Verse 19, it says, the Lord by wisdom hath founded the earth. By understanding he hath established the heavens. So the earth was established by wisdom. Water, rain, snow, animals, creatures, the laws of physics, gravity, all that was founded by wisdom. Just like the creatures, man and woman, was founded and established by wisdom. So the order of man and woman on the earth, when working together in harmony, is beautiful. It works. It functions. History itself proves that to you. Right? It proves to you that when the man and the woman operate in their order, society survives. Society thrives. It works. It's established by wisdom. And it is beautiful when you see it, when it comes together, like I said, in harmony. That's wisdom. Okay, it was established, and that includes the creatures. All right, the bird isn't trying to be something that's not. The bird isn't trying to be a cat. Cat isn't trying to be a dog. A dog isn't trying to be a damn spider. You know what I'm saying? A squirrel isn't trying to be, right, a penguin. They operate how they operate and move how they move. That's it. The moment a man tries to become a woman, he's sinning, and the moment a woman tries to be a man, she's sinning. Because a man can't do what a woman does, and a woman can't do what a man does. Okay? Proverbs 8. Now this is wisdom speaking again. Proverbs 8, verse 34. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord Yahweh. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All that hate me love death. So if you sin against wisdom, you hate yourself. You're only hurting yourself. When you read the laws for the Israelites, this is to help you. No tattoos. That was for your benefit. Because when you go into the science behind that, you're damaging yourself. You're damaging your skin and your immune system. Not eating pork, shrimp, crab, or lobster, all those other abominable foods. That's for your benefit. You know, you thinking you sticking it to the Lord by eating pork or by eating those abominable foods, or you're making your husband mad by doing that because you don't want to believe, or I'm gonna eat my pork, I'm gonna do this, thinking you getting that person mad. You're the one that got to go to the doctor visit. You're the one that's got to take those prescription pills for high blood pressure, getting procedures and all these things done because of poor diet. You only hurting yourself. When men want to have long hair, right? Want to have super long hair like you're a woman, but you're not a Nazareth, Nazarite, right? You're in danger. You only hurting yourself. Okay, when you do stuff like, whenever you try to go against the natural order of the law and the scriptures of things, you only inflicting yourself, because he established the world in wisdom. So the creatures play their creation role. But you're only hurting yourself. So when you women think, I'm going to have more than one man, and my justification is because you're doing it. If you're doing it, then that means I can do it because we're equals. That's not in the scriptures. And that's why you don't have a single scripture for you all to justify what you're doing, because the scriptures tell you your natural order. The scriptures tell you that a wife is counted worthy when she plays the role of a wife. And all the women in the scriptures who got famous names were known for their humility, and for the most part playing the role of a wife and being submissive, not trying to be equal with the man. In fact, those women got a horrible name like Jezebel. And that's why women like Jezebel, because they think Jezebel was doing everything that she should do. And that's why she had a horrible death. She got thrown from the top of the balcony. She scraped her body on the way down, bleeding. And then when she landed, probably broke half the bones in her body. The dogs came and ate her. She didn't have no burial. So that's what happened to Jezebel. But you want to look up to Jezebel, huh? Because, Sarah, Rachel, Leah, Judith, all those women in the scriptures, they just, they settled for being used and abused, right? And being oppressed, right? They didn't understand their value or their worth, right? That's what you think, right? Well, that's why they have a good name and you don't. So order says that a woman is not to try to strive to do what a man can do. She's supposed to do what she's supposed to do. And that's how the order works. And it's coming back in a big way, because in the kingdom of heaven, things are going to be restored naturally. Okay. One man is going to have an innumerable amount of women, because King Solomon had 1,000, and we're not going to die. So we're going to just keep multiplying and multiplying, and you're going to be happy. That's the thing with you women. You think you're going to be oppressed in the kingdom. No, you're going to be happy, because deep down, you all want the same things: a husband that loves you, children, and substance. And you're going to have all that and more. You're going to have slaves. Look, King Solomon built the whole city for his wife, and that was an Egyptian woman. So you're going to have more than that. and you're going to be happy and you're going to be satisfied. You're not going to be trying to control your husband. You're not going to be trying to do what he does. You're not going to be envying him or nothing. You're going to be in your role and you're going to be happy. But until we get to that point, you got to take a hard fall, because pride has seeped into all, and it seeped in heavy to you women. And you're going to realize that you have one role to play. Your role to play when the Lord created you was your best security. It was your best security, which was really the Lord. The way he gave you your provision and your security, he gave it to you by way of what? A man. Because that love comes from a man naturally. And all you had to do is play your role, and that's how you got your provision. That's how you got your security. That's how he gave it to you. Now, since you want to isolate yourself and you trying to be like the man and do you think what you can do, now you're out there by yourself. Now you don't have that guarantee. You don't have it, but the Lord gave it to you. He gave it to you by way of the man. You play a role of a woman, and your husband, and as well as all the men in your family and around you, you're going to get taken care of, because that's one of the powers that you have as a woman, that femininity. That's how you survived, and that's how women survived in general. You see, so the Lord already, he gave you your way to be secure in this world, in this life. But because of pride, you stepped away and you want to do what a man can do. Well, that's why you out there now by yourself, and you only destroying yourself and your body, because the man is the husbandman and you are the earth. Okay. And a man can have more than one woman and, walk away like no problem. But you can't the moment you have more than one man, because a man inserts, he inserts his seed, and then he moves on. You receive, and all those things stay in you and retain in you, and then messes with your head. And diseases come out of it. All these things come out of this because people are going against the order of the scriptures. The Lord does things for a purpose. Let's just everybody just sleeping with whoever they want, and let's just sleep whoever you want, and make it normal, hookup culture, all these things. No, that's not how the Lord wanted things to be done. And that's what happens. Come out of that, what? Diseases. Okay. All these things are happening now because this is Satan's playground, and people want to normalize. Yeah, my ex at the time. Yeah, that's what women say. Oh, my ex at the time, and I was with that guy, but I'm not. But then I met this guy randomly, and then we hooked up, and then I had a boyfriend too. And you think that you want that to be a normal thing? No, because you're going against the order of the scriptures, the order, your natural order, what the Lord created you to do, and that's why problems come out of that. Let's see, Jeremiah chapter 3, it says, they say, if a man put away his wife and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, said the Lord Yahweh. Exactly. And that's even in the law. If a man had a wife and he put her away by divorce, she go gets married to another man, he divorced her, she can't go back to her first husband, because that's confusion. So in the law itself, it tells you that women ain't supposed to be passed around like that. And it's just confusion for a woman to be bouncing back from man to man to man, to back to the same man, back to this man, back to that man. That's confusion. And the law, and the Lord clearly states that in the scriptures. And women are mad because the moment they want to go do what they call the best life, hot girl summer, then they get frowned upon and they get called whores. Yeah, it's because the Lord calls you a whore. Because that's not what you're created to do. That's not what you were created for. And the evidence is here. All the evidence is here. You're not supposed to be doing that. And the evidence proves that man ain't supposed to be like no damn woman. You got these big muscle-bound sodomites, homosexuals, all right, changing their plumbing. Everybody's doing it. When I say everybody, but you got both men and women changing their plumbing, taking hormones and all these things to change their body, to try to think different, try to look like the opposite. Because they're basically saying the Most High made a mistake. The Most High didn't know what he was doing. Let's try to change things. Let's try to make the confusion of Babylon. Let's try to make that the natural order, and look at what is bringing forth: confusion, death, destruction, diseases. People are unhappy. Life, as you know, it is basically about to come to an end because nobody wants to come together anymore. Man and woman don't want to come together anymore because the woman's out of order. Shit's just going downhill because everything's out of order. And that's why the Lord is going to come to set it back up. All right. Everything's out of order, man. But this message primarily to you women is that's why the scripture says you must be born again. You coming into the truth, so-called, that's what you believe, right? Yet you're still trying to insert this idea that you can do what a man does, and your justification is, well, if my husband's doing it, that means I can do it. Well, if you're doing it, then that means I can do it. Show me the scripture where it says that you can do that. You can't. So you're going off and you're out of line. You have a role to play. You have a whole world that you can dive into and explore, and there's room for you to grow in. It's called being a woman, being a wife, and you're in femininity. That's all you have to do. Isaiah 24, verse 4, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws. Yeah, because even the earth has laws. The earth has nature, laws of nature. Everything has a purpose and a course. And this devil is changing it. He's putting out into the world forever chemicals and plastic. And it is suffocating the world. The whole world, earth is suffocating, especially in the sea and in the forest, because you got plastic all over the place. Why? Because those that isn't natural materials, so the earth can't receive it back in. You know, from the food we eat to the manure and the poop we poop, all has a purpose. That all cycles itself back around in the earth. It's received in the earth and it comes back in the earth again. Come out of the earth again. But when you break the laws, like you break the land Sabbath, you start to try to manipulate the weather for your own dealings. The laws are broken, so everything's out of course. Animals changing their habitat, right? Fishes got plastic in them. They're dying, they're beaching themselves. Not supposed to do that. Bees dying, because they're being attacked by the chemicals that they spray on the herbs, so-called pesticides, killing the bees, which means the plants suffer. They don't yield their true potential because they need the bees. Everything's out of order the moment you start breaking laws. And even when it comes to the creatures, men and women, it says, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. So what is Yahushua coming to do? Set everything right side up. Set everything right side up. As he says, healing in his wings. Malachi 4:2. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. And ye shall go forth and grow up as the calves of the stalls. So he's coming to heal the earth and men and women. Let me see. 2nd Esdras 11. This is him rebuking Rome, aka America, the fourth beast. 2nd Esdras 4:11 and 41. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth. For thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up to the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also have looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. And therefore appear no more thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, or all thy vain body, that all the earth may be refreshed, and may return, being delivered from thy violence, that she may hope for her judgment, and mercy of him that made her. So even the earth is crying to be delivered because she's suffering, because things are out of order. And even so, the creatures are out of order, in particular, men and women, especially the woman. The woman is seeking to be the man. Okay, you can't do that, and you have to learn to accept the fact that you were created for a man. and it's not the other way around. So you were created to be ultimately a man's possession, his wife. And you can't do what a man does without damaging yourself and breaking the law of the Heavenly Father. And in the end, you're not going to prosper because that's not what you were set up to do. So you have to accept that when you come into this truth and be greatly humbled, as even men ourselves, we had to be humbled. All right. So no, don't listen to women like that. If you have any self-respect, okay, you would model your life after the women in the scriptures who have a great report, and pray to the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and that's what you have to do to be saved. With that, shalom.